And hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of The Book Guy. I'm Cyrus Webb, the Book Guy. Glad to be able to have you with us today as we are bringing you this week's selections for books you should be reading during National Book Month. We're going to be streaming live today on Facebook, on Twitter. We also have with us YouTube. We're going to be also on Instagram here in just a bit, as well as, of course, on Amazon Live. Going to make sure everything is set up correctly and that all of the authors that are featured in today's show, that they are properly tagged. Again, this is your one week episode of the Book Guide as we are celebrating National Book Month. We're going to be sharing with you guys this week's pick. We actually have some new books that are in the selection this week as well. Excited about adding those. And you all have been seeing me talk about Tamron Hall's book. It is getting ready to release. Of course, it is on my list for this week as well. So if you guys have not already added it to your pre-order list, you definitely want to make sure that you do that as well. Again, all of these books are located in my Amazon store. So if you guys are joining us on Facebook, on Twitter, as well as on YouTube, you will see the link for my Amazon store there. Feel free to be able to check that out, to be able to get any of the books you see there. Hey, Chris, I see you there, my friend. Chris, we have to get you in the bookstore so you can get on the show with the Book Guy. You have to get that set up, Chris, so make sure you get at me. And again, if you guys have not already done so already and followed me on the Amazon Live side, invite you guys to be able to do that as well. Again, I'm going to make sure all of the authors are tagged for this week's show. And we have a great mixture, once again, of fiction, of nonfiction. And as I mentioned, we have some new books as well. So I'm excited about being able to share those with you and to make sure that you have them on your reading list. Just going to take a second here again and make sure that all the authors are properly tagged on Facebook so that you guys can be able to stay connected with them there. As I said, we do have some new selections that I'm excited about sharing with you all today. Some of them actually are on Facebook, so I definitely want to make sure that I get them tagged. And let's see. And then some of them also on Twitter. You'll notice on Twitter, I've already tagged you guys. So if you're in this week's selection for the Book Guide, I've already tagged you on Twitter. So feel free to be able to share that out. There is Ruby. And there is Dawn. Rosalind. I see you there. Lisa G. I got you tagged there. Dan Burns, making sure that you're tagged. And Dan, we've also already tagged you on Twitter as well. So you'll see the tag over there, my friend. And I tag your fan page there. Let's see. Okay. Got that done. Got that. Go ahead and get our newbie here that is going to be joining us. And if you have any questions about any of these books, of course, you guys know I've read all of them. So I'll be glad to be able to answer any questions you all have for those. All right, so we got everything set up there. Going to go ahead and connect with our friends over on Instagram. And then we will be connecting with Amazon Live and get started with today's program. Again, it's a great selection of books this week. I'm excited about being able to share some of them with you. If you're just now finding out about some of them, of course, you will be able to get them again in my Amazon store at cyruswebstore.com. Cyruswebstore.com, again, is that link. Okay. Got our friends there on Instagram. And hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of The Book Guy. I'm Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us for this week's episode. Again, these are books for you to read as we're in National Book Month. And all this month, I've been sharing with you guys each week books that I have personally been able to read. And now I'm glad to be able to share with all of you. We welcome those joining us on the Amazon Live platform. Thank you so much for being with us. Also tuning in on Facebook, on YouTube. Also, those who are joining us, we have on Twitter and also on Instagram. Glad to have you guys with us on Instagram. And we're doing something special for you guys on Instagram. So I hope you guys appreciate this. Some extra effort we took to make sure that you got something really special so you can see the books really well. Again, all of the books I'm sharing with you guys today on today's program, I actually have them personally right here in front of me. I've read them all, and I'm excited to go through the list. If you're joining us on the Amazon Live site, I will be highlighting them in the carousel. And as I mentioned, of course, for those joining us on Instagram, I'll be doing something very special for you guys as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned. If you guys are not following us on the Amazon Live platform, you'll notice there's a follow button below me. Also, keep in mind that you'll be able to see all of the books if you're on the Amazon Live side. You'll be able to see all of the books on the carousel as well. So make sure you guys take advantage of that. Hello to you again, those who are tuning in on the Instagram side. I appreciate you guys. Again, I'm going to be doing something really special for you. So definitely stay tuned for that. Go ahead and make sure we have everything set up for you guys. And there we have it. All right, so we're going to begin with our very first book. And that is the book by Lisa W. Beckwith, God is Carrying Me, I Am His Warrior. You all see it there. Lisa is someone who has been able to share a very powerful story with the world. And I love the fact that with Lisa, what she's been able to do is to show us all what is possible. Now, Lisa's gone through some challenging situations. Hello to you, Melissa. Glad to see you over there. X Factor Fit, appreciate you being on with us as well. Give you guys a quick wave there as well. And let's see. Yeah, there we go. And so, as I was saying, with Lisa's book, she takes us through a very challenging time for herself, but also how she's been able to navigate that thanks to her faith. And it really is a great reminder for all of us as we're going through difficulties in life, not to let the bad things get us down. And that is what Lisa definitely shares as she takes us through her own journey. It is her journey with breast cancer, but also just in strengthening her faith. But instead of saying breast cancer, she uses the BC for be courageous. And that's one of the things that she kind of says to herself. And it's a great reminder, I think, for all of us as we're going through life's journey to be courageous in everything that we do. So God is Carrying Me, I Am His Warrior is the first book there in the carousel by Lisa W. Beckwith. The next book is another work of nonfiction. It's by Gary L. Hayward. His book called Corruption Officer. And Gary is someone who knows what it's like to have the highs of the highs, but also the lows of the lows. And he chronicles that in his book, Corruption Officer. And as the title alludes to, he goes from being on the right side of the law to the wrong side of the law. And so we're able to, we hear these stories all the time of how good cops go bad, right? Gary takes us through his journey. What is it that led him to make some very bad decisions and the consequences that came with those decisions? He's very open and honest about his journey. And I think Gary's book has resonated with a lot of people. He's got a lot of national recognition for this book, and rightly so, because it does show us how easily, if you're not careful, you can make the wrong decisions, and those wrong decisions can lead you astray. Again, Corruption Officer is a book by Gary L. Hayward. That is the next book that is on our reading list for National Book Month. All right, the next book is a New York Times bestselling author for its second week, and that is the one and only Tabitha Brown. Her book, Feeding the Soul. Feeding the Soul. If you guys have not read this book, you are definitely missing out. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it there in the carousel there on Amazon. So Tabitha Brown, we know her because of her positivity. We know her as someone who is always trying to encourage and inspire, get us to look at ourselves differently, look at what we're putting in our bodies differently. But she really talks about in this book about what does it take to truly feed the soul? What does it take to truly be happy and to be able to thrive in life? She takes you also through her own challenges, allows you to see how even in the face of challenge, how she's been able to do extraordinary things. And that is what she reminds us all, that we can all do extraordinary things. And it all begins with the decision. Again, Feeding the Soul is the book by Tabitha Brown. Again, a New York Times bestseller. And it is on sale right now on Amazon. You guys can see it there in my carousel. All right, the next book is also a nonfiction work by an actor. He's a choreographer. He's now an author, but an individual who's definitely doing some amazing things. That is the one and only Columbus Short, his book Short Stories. Again, this one is on sale right now on Amazon.com. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Anything you have ever wanted to know about Columbus Short, he shares it in his book. He does not hide from the challenges he's had. He takes you through the work ethic, but also through the down moments as well. And he allows you to see not only the things that happened to him, but the role that he played sometimes in his own struggle. And that's what I love about this book. It really is an unvarnished look at his life, and a way for us to be able to see that no matter how you might have gone down a certain road, it is, as long as you're willing, it's never too late to be able to come back. And that's what Columbus has been able to do. Now, of course, chronicling it in this book. It also was an Amazon.com bestseller, but definitely worth your time. If you've ever again wanted to know anything about Columbus Short, the man behind the acting, the dancing, and the singing, I have to say his music is on Amazon as well. This is the book for you. Short Stories, again, on sale right now on Amazon.com. The next book is also a great one. And I have to say, most of my regular audience, you all know sports is not normally my thing, but I love stories. So when I first heard about Carmelo Anthony's book, Where Tomorrows Aren't Promised, I wasn't sure really what to expect, but now that I've read it, I want to tell you what's in it and what's not in it, okay? So Where Tomorrows Aren't Promised is the book by Carmelo Anthony. It is next on our list. Also on sale right now on Amazon.com. I have the hardcover edition you all see there, but you can also get the Kindle edition and others. So let me tell you what is in the book. What Carmelo Anthony does in Where Tomorrows Aren't Promised is he takes you to the unlikely journey to his success. So he allows you to see where he came from, what he was able to overcome, the issues he had with trust, the issues he had with being let down, being counted out, but how he was able to thrive. That is what you will find in the book. Now, if you're looking for information about his adult life, relationships, that kind of thing, this is not the book you want to get. Where Tomorrows Aren't Promised is not about that. It's not about the headlines you guys have seen, that kind of thing. Carmelo Anthony just shares in this book, Where Tomorrows Aren't Promised, how he got to be where he is in his professional life and personal life, I guess you can say, but it really is about the work ethic and what helped him to get to where he is. That is what this book is about. Again, if you're looking for stuff about other aspects of his personal life, this is not going to be the book for you. But if you're looking for a book that will inspire you, that no matter where you're from, no matter what your circumstances, that you can make it, this is the book for you. Hello to you, Pop Fusion. Hope all is well with you. We're going through the book guides, books you should be reading during National Book Month. I'm on now Carmelo Anthony's book, Where Tomorrows Aren't Promised. Really, I was just saying, Pop Fusion, a really powerful book for anyone who wants to be inspired, but also if you're a Carmelo Anthony fan. Now, I have to say, as I mentioned, my brother's a sports guy. I didn't know anything about him professionally. But when I heard about the book and what it was about, I knew I wanted to read it. And it definitely gives you a great snapshot as to what he's been able to achieve. And that makes his journey, I think, even more rewarding for all of us. All right, the next book on the list is someone I've had the privilege of interviewing on Conversations Live, the radio show, as well as featuring on the cover of Conversations magazine. And that is the one and only Devon Franklin. His new book is called Live Free. I have the hardcover edition. You all see it there. So let me tell you about Devon Franklin's book. This is a book that really will liberate you, and that's not an exaggeration. It really is about helping you to identify the things that are holding you back, and sometimes the people that are holding you back, and how you can be able to get rid of that to live the life that you were created to live. And that's one of the things that Devon writes about a whole lot, is that we were all created for great things. And that's what he shares in this book. Again, Live Free is the book by Devon Franklin. If you've read any of Devon Franklin's books, this is a great compliment to them. I think for myself, as I've looked at what he's done, whether we're talking about books like Produced by Faith, where he kind of uses the analogy of the entertainment industry to talk about how things are produced, how we were produced, and what we were produced for. and who we're allowing to write our script. That is kind of what he picks up on in this book, Live Free, because he allows you to be able to let go of all the things that might be holding you back and to push forward with the things that will motivate you to where you want to be at. And it is on sale right now at the time we're having this broadcast on Amazon. So definitely check that out. The next book is by someone else. I have not interviewed her yet on Conversations Live, the radio show, but she is definitely on my list. I'm talking about Miss Boomcat herself, Laurie Ann Gibson. When I heard about her book, Dance Your Dance, I went into it not knowing what to expect. Now, we all know Laurie Ann Gibson as a very talented choreographer, of course. She's also an entertainer as well. But in her book, Dance Your Dance, it really is about realizing that we were created to be individuals, that you are not supposed to be a copy of anyone else. Yes, you can learn from other people, but what Laurie Ann shares in her book is the danger of losing yourself in the process of trying to get to your success. And that's what I love about this book. Hello to you, Amanda. Hope all is well with you. Amanda, we're going through on Amazon Live, and I'm streaming it here as well on Instagram. My top picks for this week for National Book Month. And I'm on right now Laurie Ann Gibson's book, again, Dance Your Dance. Again, a great book about encouraging to be your best self. And she also, the other great message in her book, and there's a lot of them, but another one that I'll mention here is that she shows that, we all have heard the saying, not all money is good money. Laurie Ann talks about the importance of holding on to your integrity and not allow yourself to be bought and give yourself up in the process. And she gives examples of that in the book about decisions she had to make. And that, again, is what made this book so powerful. Again, Dance Your Dance by Laurie Ann Gibson, also on sale right now on Amazon.com. We have it highlighted in our carousel there on Amazon. The next book is by a fellow Mississippian, that being Melissa Banks. Her book is Dream by Design, the devotional. You guys see it there. Now, this is one of those books that you do not have to read from beginning to end. It is a book pretty much just to inspire you, to motivate you, and it can pretty much meet you where you are. I'm just going to randomly just pick a page here. And this one says, believe you can, you will. That's the message in this one. And again, she allows you room to be able to write your own messages as well, so that then you become a part of the book. Again, that's Dream by Design, the devotional, a great way to keep yourself inspired. Hello to you, Janet. Hope all is well with you. A great way to keep yourself inspired and motivated and give you something to be able to reflect on along the way. At the time we're having this broadcast, it is $9.99 on Amazon. We have it highlighted right now in the carousel. All right, the next book, we're switching over now to a work of fiction. We do have several fiction titles that are on our list as well. This one is by Jodi Lee Stewart. Now, Jodi Lee Stewart is an author. I've been able to read several of her books. And this one that we're highlighting this month is called Triumph. You all see it there. And this is one of those books for Jodi. She writes about a lot of different things, but there's always going to be family. There's always going to be an issue somehow dealing with faith, but also overcoming hardships and difficulties. That also is a big thing for her. In this book, it also has the element of friendship as well as family, which makes it a really enticing read. Again, Triumph is the book, a novel of the human spirit. You all can see there is a subtitle of the book. A really great read, an award-winning book, I should add as well. And Jodi is one of those storytellers that she draws you into her books. Sometimes she's taking you back in time, but she's able to make the book so relatable to you. There's definitely something there you can connect with. This book also is on sale right now at the time we're having this conversation. Again, I have the paperback edition, but you can get it in other forms as well. Again, Triumph by Jodi Lee Stewart. All right, we're almost halfway through our list of books for this week that we think should be on your reading list for National Book Month. So we're glad you all could be with us. For those who are just tuning in on Amazon Live, those tuning in on Facebook, on YouTube, as well as Twitter and Instagram, I'm Cyrus Webb, the book guy. Glad you all could be with us as we're going through some of the books I've had a chance to read and review, and now to be able to share with you during National Book Month. Hopefully you'll be able to add some to your own reading list. and also to be able to tell others about as well. Our next book, we're going back to nonfiction, is by Mary Ellen Saganovic. It's called Healing Words, Life Lessons to Inspire. Now, like the book by Melissa Banks, this is another one that you do not have to read from beginning to end. You can be able just to open it up, find something in it for that day, and to be able to truly try to digest that. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with Melissa's. Just pick a page here. This one is upset. And this is what she writes. You are never upset for the reason you think. Whatever you think you are upset with is simply your ego protecting its precious self from a truth that is so painful for you to bear. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Then the truth for your upset will become clear. All right. And we all know that to be true in some respect, right? That sometimes you find people that seem to be angry in a grocery store or in a situation, and it typically is not what's happening at the present time that they're really angry about. It's something else that has happened. And so that's a great reminder for it. So maybe you're that person. You're that person who's dealing with being upset or angry all the time. Being able to ask yourself those questions, what is causing that? Is one of the things that Mary Ellen does. Again, it's all about healing for her. Again, healing words, life lessons to inspire. This book is not on sale, but at the time we're doing this conversation, it is $12.97 for the paperback edition. You all see it there. All right. Next one is another work of nonfiction by another fellow Mississippian, that being Dennis Perkins. His book, Standing Upright in the Upside Down World. You all see it there. Now, Dennis is one of those authors, I joke with him a lot because Dennis has written a lot of books in the past 4 years. But this book is probably one of his most powerful in that it reminds us of a very simple truth, that just because someone says something is right does not make it right. Just because someone says something is wrong and that's the way you should do things does not necessarily make it so. This book is all about finding your compass and finding that thing that is going to motivate you and inspire you, and that will help you to be the best version of yourself. And that means not being led or molded by those around you that may not be the best example. And that's one thing that Dennis writes about in this book. Again, Standing Upright in an Upside Down World is the book by author Dennis Perkins. And it is on sale right now on Amazon. All right, our next book is another nonfiction by Tina Siemens. It's called Seminole, Some People Never Give Up. Tina is someone we're featuring in our visionary issue of the magazine coming out next month. But what she does in the book Seminole is she takes us into her family history. And her family has an interesting history coming to the United States. But I will tell you two big takeaways from the book. One is the lessons that Tina learned from her family by seeing their faith in action. That means them actually doing something, willing to take risk, willing to make sacrifices, willing to do things that will get them where they want to be. The second thing is what Tina has realized about the importance of sharing her story. And it goes to something I talk about all the time. All of us have a story to share. Tina realized the importance of her story. She's sharing it with the world. And that's something that all of us can be able to do. Again, Seminole, Some People Never Give Up. It's available right now on Amazon. It is not on sale, but at the time we're doing this conversation, it is $14.97 on Amazon. Okay. All right, the next book is by Dr. Teresa A. Smith, or Dr. Taz, as we know her on social media. Her book is simply called Transformation. Now, for those who will follow me on different platforms, you know I'm doing a series with Dr. Taz on this particular book. It has 10 messages in it that are really short, but get to the point. And they help you to really evaluate where you are and where you want to go and how you can get there. Now, the thing that I love about Dr. Taz is that she shares a lot of personal experiences in this book, but she also gives us a lot of practical advice and steps we can take as well. So again, Transformation is the book by Dr. Teresa A. Smith, or Dr. Taz. It is not on sale at the time we're doing this conversation, but it is $8.99. RCM Talent. Hope all is well with you. We are going through the books that you should be reading during National Book Month. Among other things, October is recognized as National Book Month. We've been going through some great nonfiction and fiction books that I have personally read that I'm glad to be able to share with all of you. The next one is another work of nonfiction by the Ruby C. White. It's called Resilient Heart. Now, all of us, and I've said this before, all of us have gone through some type of trauma, whether it is something that may have happened in our youth or something that has happened in our lives as an adult. What matters, though, is what we choose to do after that. Will you be defined by that, whatever that is, or will you be able to move forward and to thrive? Well, in Ruby's book, Resilient Heart, she shares that not only did she go through bad things as a child, but she also had trauma heaped upon her as an adult as well. Her voice was stymied. It was all about who she could not be, what she could not do, instead of who she was. And that was a decision that Ruby had to make is, am I willing to give up my life? And she made her decision, and now she chronicles it in this book. Again, Resilient Heart is the book. It is not on sale at the time we're doing this conversation today, but it is $5.99 on Amazon for the Kindle edition. I want to be clear about that, for the Kindle edition. I actually have the Kindle edition as well as the print, but the Kindle edition is only $5.99, but you can get the print edition as well. We're skipping back to fiction now with Rosalind Kachuk's book called The Memory Lingers On. And in this book, we're introduced to a character named Anna, who is having some difficult things to navigate through. For one, is helping her daughter to be able to understand her life and what she can be able to achieve. But we also are able to see how things like Alzheimer's, how it can rob us of our joy, our happiness, and our peace. But also, I think the lessons that we can learn along the way that we can then impart with others. And that's what this character, again, this is a book of fiction, so this is not true. But it does deal with the truth that so many people do when it comes to dealing with Alzheimer's, life, what does it mean, and also what you can do. All right, the next book is by Lisa George, or Lisa G, as we know her on social media. Celebrating Life, Celebrating You is the book. You all see it there. Go ahead and show it to all of you. And in this book, she takes part of what she's able to learn in 2020 due to the pandemic, but also what all of us can be able to learn when it comes to life lessons, and what is possible for us. Lisa is all about possibilities, and that's one thing that she shares in this book. And that's what I think makes it so cool. It is literally on sale right now, the Kindle edition, for 99 cents. 99 cents is the price right now. And you can definitely go ahead and get it for yourself. Hey, Don, hope all is well with you. I see you over there on the Facebook side. Don, we are joined today by Facebook. We have YouTube. We have Twitter. We also have Instagram is joining us, and Amazon Live, as we're going through this week's episode of the Book Guide, Books You Should Read During National Book Month. And Don, your book is coming up here in just a bit. Before we get to that, though, we have Dan Burns' book next, and that is this book, A Necessary Explosion, Dan's first book of poetry. Now, I've said it before that Dan is one of those authors that can literally write everything. He's written novels, he's written short stories. Now he says his first book of poetry that is out, and is a winner for sure. It's thoughtful, parts of it is funny, but would definitely make you go, when it comes to thinking about the earth and what we're doing to it, and what other people have in mind for it when it comes to the future. So A Necessary Explosion is the book by Dan Burns. It is on sale right now at the time we're doing this conversation on Amazon, so you can see it below in the carousel. All right, the next book is another work of fiction. As you can see, we're going back and forth here. Chestnut Checkers by author Tony Lindsay. So in this book, we're introduced to the main character, Thaddeus, and he learns, just as the title alludes to, that life is more like chess than checkers. And that is meaning that, you have to be thoughtful. You can't just rush into things. That's when it comes to family, friendship, or just your career and life. The importance of being thoughtful and doing what you can the best way you can, knowing that will lead you to the best outcome. Again, that is Chestnut Checkers by Tony Lindsay. It is not on sale at the time we're doing this conversation, but you can get the print edition for $15. Okay. The next book is by Dan O'Brien. It's a volume called Westlake, and this is a big book. Now, let me tell you why it's a big book. What Westlake is actually 6 books. So instead of buying one book, you're getting 6 books. Look at that thing. You're getting 6 books there by Dan O'Brien featuring Lauren Westlake and her antics that she finds herself in. And those antics include things that are also outside of her control as well. But it's how she's been able to deal with it and be able to use it in her quest to do what is right. That is a fascinating thing about this volume. So you're able to go from book to book to book to book to book, being able to read all about Lauren's journey. Again, it's in the volume called Westlake. It is not on sale at the time we're having this conversation today, but believe it or not, you can get all 6 books in this volume for only $5.99. I have it highlighted right now in the carousel for your Kindle. Okay. All right, I mentioned earlier about Tamron Hall. This is a big month for her. She's releasing her debut novel that I've already had a chance to review. You can find my review on Amazon. It's As the Wicked Watch. People are anticipating this book, and for good reason. It's a really fun read. It really does seem ripped from the headlines, as well as I feel like we're getting pieces of who Tamron would be if she was out still reporting, but also covering the news as well. But As the Wicked Watch is a debut novel by Tamron Hall, a must-read for sure. I enjoyed this book, enjoyed the messages, but just enjoy getting to know the characters. That's the other fun thing, and you can enjoy it as well. All right, we're moving on to this is another new edition. So Tamron Hall's book is new to our Amazon storefront here. But our next 3 books, one will sound familiar, the others will not. This is a new one. This is the Unsuccessful Relationship Guide by Michelle Catino. The Unsuccessful Relationship Guide. I love that title, by Michelle Catino. And in this book, what she does is she takes you through the good and the bad of her own relationships and the warning signs for you to look forward to or look forward to see if you're in a relationship that is doing you more harm than good. I love the book, love the message of the book. And there is work for you to do inside of it as well. It's a great way for you to be able to look at your situation, evaluate it, be honest with yourself, and then be able to share your thoughts there as well. Again, the Unsuccessful Relationship Guide by Michelle Catino. It is right now $12 on Amazon. So it is not right now. It is not on sale. But it's $12. It's a really good price. You heard me shout out Dawn Marie Westmoreland earlier. Here is her workbook. You guys see there. Stand Up to Workplace Bullying and Discrimination. You see it there. Hello to you, Michelle. Michael, hope all is well with you. Again, Stand Up to Workplace Bullying and Discrimination. We're showing you guys books that I recommend for National Book Month, books to read this week. And this one is a workbook by Dawn Marie Westmoreland. And in it, she's able to share her own experience dealing with human resources, but also standing up for what she knows to be the right thing. And it's a reminder for all of us, whether we're in a situation that we are being bullied or mistreated, or we see somebody else being bullied or mistreated, the importance of stepping up, saying something, and taking action is really something all of us can be able to do. The book also includes resources that you can use to make sure that you're able to either help others or help yourself to be informed as you're going throughout dealing with different things when it comes to situations as far as bullying and discrimination. So again, Stand Up to Workplace Bullying and Discrimination by Dawn Marie Westmoreland, available now on Amazon. It's available in print as well as the Kindle edition. You all can get it for $21.95 at the time we're doing this broadcast. And last but certainly not least, when I say the name Craig Melvin, you know him as a co-host of the Today Show. But what you may not know is he released a new book this month, and that book is called Pops. Now, I have to be quite honest with you. I knew nothing at all about Craig Melvin's personal life. So I did not know, well, I knew he had a family, but I did not know about the dynamics with his father and him. But he breaks that down in a very open and honest way, allowing us to see how the sins of the father do not have to pass on to the son. And that's a reminder for Craig that he doesn't have to fall into the traps that may have gotten his father. But also the example, as you can tell, because Craig is a father as well, making sure that he is setting the right example for his own family. And I love that the book's about hope, it's about healing, but also the truth of all of us are imperfect. All of us make mistakes. And the important thing is that we choose to make the most of each and every day. Again, Pops is a new book by Craig Melvin. It is on sale right now on Amazon.com, so you guys can go ahead and get it for yourself. All right, there you have it. This week's episode of The Book Guide featuring books you should be reading for National Book Month. Would love to know your thoughts about any of the books we featured here this week. All of the books, as I mentioned, you can tell I've read them all. I've written reviews for the majority of them, and I'm excited to be able to share them with you as we're going through the next couple of weeks of National Book Month. If you're not following us again on the Amazon Live platform, I invite you to click below to hit that follow button to make sure to get notified when we're going live here. We are programming 7 days a week here on Amazon Live, and also, of course, streaming on other platforms as well. So we invite you all to be with us. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, make sure you guys enjoy your day, and we will see you all here again real soon. Take care.